Good morning. Not as energized as I was yesterday, see? But I'm in here. The key word today for your morning motivation is balance. Balance. When we talk about balance, a lot of us think we are supposed to try to have perfect balance in a day, every day. We're not. We'll have good days, we'll have bad days. Balance is more of a being able to look back over the last 30 days and making sure that you've had more good days than bad days, or more progressive days than days filled with delays, or you kind of delaying yourself, or you not kind of being disciplined about whatever it is that you're trying to get to. Balance is also about making sure, just to piggyback off of yesterday's, that when we're asking for things, that we are letting things go. Okay, it can't look like this. We got a bunch of things that we want, but we weighed down by all the things that we have. God is only going to give you what you have room for. So a lot of people don't quite understand that you have to let old things go for new things to come. When you ask for change, you have to change. Whatever you're asking for, you need to be prepared to let go of something so that that new thing can fill the space. I'll use an example like, say you got a job, say it's a part-time job. It doesn't really require that you have a certain presence about yourself, like how you dress, or, how you, I don't even want to get into how you maintain your hair, because I don't want y'all to think that you got to have it straight or nothing like that. But I worked at the YMCA for years. I wore sweatpants. I dressed like this. It was my favorite job. But when I started working for the state, I couldn't wear sweatpants and stuff like that. So I had to be willing to adjust my wardrobe for the change that I had asked for. So something simple like that, right? But it's also about continuing to develop your understanding about things. Things are going to change and continue to change. And a lot of us are not flexible to said changes. A lot of us, who have been married and divorced, that was a hard change for a lot of people, because some of you may have thought that you were going to be with that person forever. I'm sorry, y'all see me scratching my face. It's because I wash my face and then I put my moisturizer and stuff on, and then I start drinking coffee, and it's not that I'm sweating, but it just whatever. You thought those relationships were going to last forever, but as you develop, you start to realize that a lot of the decisions you made 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, they don't align with the new version of you, or the version of you that has a better understanding of yourself, your space, your mindset, your habits, all your disciplines, whatever. So we are afraid to change. We resist change. And that's what keeps us out of balance. It's unfortunate that we have been brought up in a society that, tricked a lot of us into marrying the wrong people. That's really what it is. And there is no one way to marry the wrong person. There are, I'm sure, countless ways of how somebody can end up with the wrong partner. But, when we get to a point where we realize, okay, I've evolved, or I've changed, the hardest thing we can do is justify ending the relationship, even if it's a job. My mom wanted me to get a job and stay there for 30 years. That was never going to happen. That was never going to happen. Mom, it's never going to happen. You know why? My mom didn't work a job for 30 years. My mom showed me entrepreneurship. She showed me family vacations whenever she decided. She showed me freedom. So that's what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, she wanted to keep me safe. You know what I'm saying? But I knew early on, that if it was up to me, I was going to work for myself. So for a long time, I felt like, working for somebody else was cool. But then things started to happen where it felt out of balance. And a lot of times when things really start to feel out of balance is once you start having kids, because that takes up so much of your energy. And I don't mean physically, but I mean if you're going to love kids properly and raise them properly and support them properly and feed them properly, all of that takes energy. You know what I'm saying? And a high energy, or you'll let anybody raise your kids. You'll take them anywhere. You'll let them get any type of education or lack thereof. You just kind of push them out there and let the world do it. And that's not my style. So, once I had my oldest daughter, I knew that it wouldn't be long before I was trying to figure out my way out of, the traditional workspace. Because I felt out of balance. I was working too hard. And I just had a regular, 9 to 5. But then I was supposed to come home and cook and clean and raise your children, raise my child. That is not something you can do in the 3 hours between getting home from work and bedtime, right? And so I felt out of balance. So I started to want to attract what was actually supposed to be for me. And in this particular case, I asked for a couple of things, but for the most part, I just was like, God, listen, you know my heart. You know what I'm trying to accomplish. I kind of just need to see which direction I'm supposed to be going in because I wanted balance. Our children need to see us balanced. And I'm not saying that if you work a traditional 9 to 5 that you're out of balance. I'm simply saying, are you there because you want to be, or are you there because you got to be? Most of us are at jobs because we got to be there. We got to pay the bills. We have to do these things to survive. But even being in survival mode, that's not balance. That wasn't the goal, for humanity. So to ensure that we can go forward making more balanced decisions, we have to be willing to let things go when they don't serve us. People, places, and things. We have to let them go. I know letting go of people is probably like the hardest thing. You think letting go of a job is hard. Try letting go of the people that's closest to you, or the people that believe they're the closest to you. Like all of that, it's hard, because people don't understand your route, your journey. They think they do, but they don't. No, I wouldn't be able to understand theirs truly. That's all internal. I don't care what nobody tells you. Nobody knows you 100%. Okay, so you have to be willing to let things go in order to let the things that you want and the things that are best for you come in. Try to keep today a little shorter than yesterday. But, part of what our generation shares, right, is I don't want to use the heavy word, but disappointed. Oh, disappointed. That is the perfect word. See, thanks. Disappointed with our upbringing in relation to religion, right, versus reality. All right. We were able to take some of the things with us into reality, but a lot of the things that we grew up being taught, it just didn't fit. It just didn't fit. And you realize if you are paying attention that even the box in which religion, provide us information was a part of a bigger box of control, by the very same people that religion is warning us against. Wait till you figure that out, okay? And that will throw you out of balance. There are so many people, I was one of them, who left church and was like, I'm never going back. I'm never going back. I didn't get a balanced message. I got a lot of fear messages, but I didn't get many messages on healing. If you're going to tell me that God didn't create fear, then you're supposed to tell me how to make sure I can avoid and destroy anything that comes up to me that's supposed to create fear. But nobody did that. You know what I'm saying? So there's not a lot of balance around for us. They want us to be out of balance, out of whack. Why do you think that there's so much trauma, violence, and sexuality on social media? All of that keeps us out of balance. I saw a video yesterday. I'm sure y'all have saw it. Doesn't look like this video is going to be super short, okay? Where there's a little boy sitting in front of a TV, and he had his hands in his sweatpants. And you know, you can assume that if his hands in his sweatpants and his elbows is out like this, what my hands do when my elbows go out, right? Okay, yeah. So I forgot which video of one of the female rap stars that was on the TV, but when he took his hands out of his pants, he went and like, you know, rubbed her body all the way down the TV. And it sounds like it doesn't sound like, it's a woman recording. Sounds like it's probably his mom, somebody old enough to record him doing it and then post it. And then we wonder why our boys grow up over sexual. What are we doing? We, at this point, are responsible for the lack of balance in our children's lives. So that whole, you know, hidden hand and the man didn't record their child probably touching themselves and then touching the TV and connecting the dots between his child body and her adult body. That's not balance, okay? We have got to like take things more seriously. If not, every time the inflation goes up, you'll keep spending money. How many of y'all broke because of the price of groceries? The ongoing joke is that grocery shopping is just as expensive, if not more, than eating out, and that's true. I went to the grocery store last night and spent $90. I bought fruits, vegetables, chips, and Red Bull. $90. Okay, so we're living in a time where we're being convinced that there is no balance and there is no way to combat the things that push us past our comfort zone. You know, I'm not comfortable paying $8 for a family size box of cereal. So I didn't buy it. I bought oatmeal. Like, nobody's gonna make me do what I don't want to do. Nothing's gonna make me do what I don't want to do. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, when we're in alignment and we have hard things or things that we're not the most comfortable doing or we really don't want. I'm not talking about that. Nothing about my life says I have to buy $8 cereal. Nothing about your life says you have to buy $8 cereal. But because we're unbalanced and we're letting them control the narrative, instead of you rejecting the $8 cereal, you might just pick up more hours at work as if you aren't already burnt out. How many of y'all burnt out? How many of y'all got a house full of kids and a job or two? Your man, your woman got a job or two. Y'all spend how many hours a week together? 15 maybe? We're out of balance, you know? And again, I'm not saying, I know everybody can't just up and quit their job, but shit, everybody could just up and quit their job. Don't listen. I'm ready for all the extreme changes necessary to get us more balance within ourselves. So here, I'm gonna challenge y'all to this. Read a book. You know, have a more productive mentality. If you're not doing something that can produce something else, you're wasting time. Because here's the thing, at this day and age, it ain't really nothing you can blame on nobody else. What you accept is what you accept. It's just what you decide to accept. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of y'all are thinking about like politics. I'm not talking about politics. I probably won't ever talk about politics. For what? For what? Politics not about to make me buy something I don't want to buy. Yeah, politics not going to keep me from some shit I won't. But they will convince you it do. That's why they just pour all this stupid information onto the social media platforms. They just, this person died and these people got shot up and this person died and this person is running for president again and this happened and oh my God, and here's another slave movie and and we just on there soaking this shit up. soaking it up, unbalanced as hell. Ain't drunk a glass of water in 2 weeks. No. Okay, so we got to take control. Take control of your life. By being willing to let things go, let mindsets go, let people, places, and things go in order for the universe to bring in the things that you actually need. And a lot of the times, what you need is a mindset change. The hardest thing to let go of, although I said was people, is this right here. All the things you think you know. If you done learning, you done living. And somebody else controls your body from sunrise to sunset. You're under somebody else's control like a spell. A lot of us are under spells anyway. We get up and spend all day on social media, ain't read a book in years. We can look at our kids and be proud of them for being good students and all of that, and we think we done did something. Well, what about when they graduate and they gone? Do you have like something that you're gonna do after that? Are you done learning? Do you have any skills? What if everything shuts down tomorrow? How are you gonna survive? Social media gone. We so invested in other people's problems. We're so invested in other people's problems that we won't read a book or read something that can save us from our own problems. You know, that can free us from our own lack mindsets. We just out here being controlled. There's no balance in that. Balance creates peace. Balance says, yes, I've had some tough days, but when I look back at it, all my good days outweigh my bad days. That's a person that's pushing for good days. You know, and I don't mean tricking yourself into believing that you had a good day. I mean an actual good, fruitful, productive day. Balance. Look at that. Okay, so read a book. Pick a book. The library books are free. You got half-price bookstores. You have bookstores. They're everywhere. And you know, so crazy, that stupid-ass joke. Oh, if you want black people to not get it, put it in a book. White people not read it either. Stop it. Like, stop allowing them to tell y'all what black people ain't doing. There's a list, a list of black inventions. If y'all haven't seen it, go look it up. Black people invent shit with their eyes closed. So stop. Don't let them trick you into believing that you are behind anybody. All of that shit is to throw you off balance. It's also when they come out with a new slave movie, everybody rushes to the theater to watch it. For what? What do y'all need to know new about slavery? Nothing. Nothing about you feels better when you leave the theater. Why will we rush to see that, but we won't read a book about something right now that can help us in the future? They want every part of us to somehow still be attracted to a mindset of lack, less, struggle, and that's just not reality. It's not reality. You know, they use the media to like skew the perspective and perception. Okay? Take control of your life. Stop letting them lead and mislead you and keep you distracted. You know, if you're somebody that gets up and you're on social media all day, give yourself a discipline that says, I won't be on social media before 10 or after 10. Just start chipping away. Chip away at the things that keep you off balance, because there's no way anybody has had a balanced day if y'all keeping up with the story of the young lady who got murdered in Kabul. You're off balance, because those type feelings aren't going to attract you what you want. Those type feelings aren't going to free you from your 9 to 5. I'm not saying don't watch the news and don't pay attention to what's going on and be aware of your surroundings. I'm simply saying don't get consumed about it. How many times you going to talk about it? How much you going to watch? How many times you going to watch the video of the person getting shot? How many times are you going to feed yourself the same violence they feed you and then blame it on them When you stuck in a situation that you can't get out of, well, you stuck because you're stuck. Okay? Because you allow the distraction that they give you to keep you stuck. You can take control. If they give you a distraction, if you see it once and you say what you got to say about it, don't look at it again. Don't go search it again. You know, that's where we have to start letting things go. Okay? One of my first podcasts, I talked about leaving Facebook in 2016. That's because there were 2 murders floating around the internet. And I mean, y'all was motherfucking replaying them over and over. That's all anybody posted. I feel like I could scroll and it's all anybody would post. And I'm like, I mean, how many people have to repost this in order for them to realize that everybody sees it? We got the picture. Days went on. Days of this. And I'm just like, I have to let this go. It's going to kill me. I got to let this go. Dropped it like that. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, I normally get a lot of my news and stuff from Facebook. So, how am I? Because I don't watch the news on TV. How am I going to survive? And I just was like, fuck that shit. I'll figure it out. And that was it. And I didn't look back. It was like way easier than what I thought. Now I'm back, right? And I don't see as much of that, but I do see a lot of people in a position where they're sad that they got to let things go. Friends, family, husbands, wives, and people are like pulling their hair out because they don't understand. Everybody is sad about that, and I get it. But there is plenty of information out there that teaches you why this is happening. It'll teach you why it's happening right now. Okay, as a generation, we all are sharing very, very, very similar experiences. And I don't mean by way of social media. I'm talking about internal, energetic experiences that we are responding to our external circumstances that have been put on us, okay? Change is coming whether you want it or not. I simply suggest that you begin to inform yourself on how to let go of the things that don't serve you so that you can have room for the things that you're going to need, that are going to come right in time in the midst of this chaos and this war mentality. All we got every day is war and sex. War in our neighborhoods, war in our cities, war in our country, war around the world, right? Sexuality on our phones, on every channel of the TV. I mean, Disney got shows where the teenagers is kissing. I can't even let my daughter watch this shit. Like, you have to take control. You have to take control and stop thinking that everybody ain't one paycheck away from like disaster. Nobody's safe. I don't care how much. Y'all see what happened with the FTX, right? Okay. How many people lost all that money? We one decision away from losing it all. What you gonna do? What you got in place to pick you back up if somebody takes something from you that was never yours? Because as long as you're working for somebody else, the job ain't really yours. They can take it whenever they want to and nothing you can do. Do you have a skill? You know what I'm saying? Is there something that do you have an ongoing learning mentality so that you can always produce for yourself and your family? Produce something. Okay? It would be nice if we didn't have to work every day to pay a bill that came every 30 days. That didn't really need to come every 30 days. But that's just where we live. That's just kind of what it is. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have to be burnt out by it by thinking that we have to consume all these things. We have to consume all these things in order to feel better. You're just filling voids. Okay? So do something that helps balance out your month. Pick a book. Get enlightened about something new. Learn something new. And let some things go so that some new things can come in, some things that are more equipped for your reality, some things that help balance you out, some things that help actually keep you on track. Other than that, you're going to keep scratching and surviving. And I don't necessarily mean financially, but mentally, bro. It's a scratch and survive mentality. It's a scratch and survive mentality. Like, you know, also, stop putting all your personal business on social media. There are algorithms created just to target your insecurities. Keep that shit to yourself. Okay, you feeling bad about a friendship that ended, you feeling bad about how, keep it to yourself. Because when you put that kind of information out there, you create a karmic response. Okay. Oh my God, I got so much to teach y'all. Balance, balance, balance. Balance. Okay, if you're getting drunk every day, you out of balance. Okay, if you can't not be on social media throughout the day, you're out of balance. And I suffer, I'm on social media a nice amount of time, but I'm trying to use social media as a platform for this. Y'all don't see me posting nothing else, because now I need to make it work for me. That's why I'm back. I'm back for Facebook to work for me now. I don't work for Facebook anymore. I'm not here for the fucking shits and giggles. I don't care about that shit. I'm here to say, hey, y'all, listen, this is way more important than what you think. It's way more important than what you're talking about, than what you're doing. Understand that when it's time to let it go, you just got to let it go. That's not to say it won't come back, but let's get more comfortable with letting things go so that what comes in can help balance our mentality and our spirituality, so that we can continue to push forward and attract the things that are actually supposed to be in our lives. Okay. Today was way longer than I intended it to be. But I want y'all to be encouraged and be consistent and really be like working at these things daily. Write your stuff on the mirror. Get you a dry erase marker. Write some stuff on your mirror in your bathroom where you got to see it every day, every time you go in. You know, what type of things make me feel unbalanced? Is it in my control to balance them out, or do I need to let it go? If you got any questions, just DM me. I can go deeper into it if you want me to. I got a couple other things I want to talk about, but don't y'all hesitate to DM me with any questions, okay, or anything you want me to discuss. I appreciate all the DMs so far. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a really good day. Stay warm, and cut your TV off. Cut your TV off. Cut your TV off. Get your kids from in front of the TV for a while. Play some board games. Do some stuff together. Dance. Listen to music. Learn hustles. Do whatever. Just cut the TV off and bring their attention back to the unit. And stop letting them be influenced and thrown off balance from such an early age. We're not even going to talk about how many people are addicted to porn because of the very same situation that little boy was in. We're doing it to ourselves. So take control and get balance back in your house before it's too late, and before it's too much karma for you to be able to like fix. You're gonna have to deal with what you're dealing with. And we all are, and nobody's perfect. I'm simply saying, take control over what you can take control of. You know, we don't like to go back to our childhood and talk about all the bad things, but what about the good things? What about the standards and the boundaries that our parents had put in place for us, what we could and couldn't watch on TV? And again, it's not all about, I know people who were able to watch stuff that I wasn't able to watch, and they grew up to be, I'm assuming, perfectly normal adults. But at the rate in which sexuality is being sold now, I wouldn't count on your kids being able to survive it the same way. Too many things have changed, and it's too much shit at risk. Like the little girls in their class. And vice versa. Vice versa. All right? I think that's all for today. I'll see y'all soon.